So good afternoon, I'm Joyce Hortizano. So I am here to deliver my speech about how can you communicate effectively to people from other cultures and backgrounds considering the phenomenon of globalization. So in a global environment, the ability to communicate effectively can be a challenge. Even when both parties speak the same language, there can still be misunderstandings due to ethnic and cultural differences. Globalization is a process of global integration and unification that connects all worlds and civilizations together. Globalization actively transforms the world and covers all spheres of human life: economy, law, politics, culture, language, education, spiritual, and moral development. As a result of globalization, the world has become more interconnected due to the exchange of goods, products, information, knowledge, and cultural values, where international business and political agendas continue to grow in importance. It is quite important to become aware of different cultures of communication styles. Communication is both verbal and nonverbal, while some cultures depend almost entirely on the spoken words to communicate understanding, a culture's expectations and customs related to cultural and communication styles and time orientation is crucial for establishing beneficial business relationships. Communication styles can be considered as a social transmitted behavior which are learned and shared by members of the group of the same nationality, ethnicity, religion, and etc. The style we communicate is affected by the culture we were brought up in. These styles provides people with a particular way of seeing the world and interpreting life. It is worth mentioning that within any style of communication, many sub-styles can be found. Nowadays, cultural diversity proves to be among the biggest challenges to consider when communicating, especially in business-related matters and efforts. So, I have here the communication styles. The following are language and dialects, direct and indirect communication, style, and sign and symbols. A language and dialects, there are billions of people in the world who do not understand English or cannot communicate in English properly, not speaking properly, or using a specific language, dialect, or socialite can cause various misunderstandings and be a barrier to communication. It is when people try to express in their own dialect and socialite that many misunderstandings arise. This phenomenon becomes more profound when the involved parties speak different languages and belong to different cultures. Direct and indirect communication cultures that value getting to the point quickly without redundancies nor menacing words are direct communicators. In this type of interaction, the truth is highly valued with a concern for people's feelings, taking a backseat to the conveyance of information. On the other hand, indirect communication value the idea of saving face and maintaining harmony. Indirect communicators rely on implication and suggestion to explain ideas with an emphasis placed on saving face. Signs and symbols. Non-verbal communication cannot be relied upon in communication between people from different culture, as that is also different like language. Signs, symbols, body language, and gestures varies in different cultures. For example, in some culture, eye contact is important, and areas in some it is rude and disrespectful. There are also strategies which can be effective when communicating across cultures and backgrounds considering the phenomenon of globalization, such as know yourself, understand why you are pursuing this subject, biases, assumptions, attitudes, likes and dislikes. Learn about different cultures and values. Take your time. Don't jump to conclusions. Allow someone to finish, relax, and be flexible. Consider specific physical and human setting. This includes one's physical environment and context, customs, past, practice, and thinking. Also, it is timing. Improve communication skills, listen and be attentive. Concentrate on explicit signals and be sensitive to implicit cues. Be aware of non-verbal cues and communication. Establish common goals. Encourage feedback. Allow for correction and adjustment of message. Create a comfortable environment. Ask questions and listen attentively to responses. Develop empathy. Understand and appreciate the worldview of others. Treat others as you want to be treated. Communication is the process of exchanging ideas, feeling, information, knowledge, facts, opinions, and emotions between a sender and a receiver. Effective communication is sending the right message to the right receiver at the right time. Many misunderstandings have occurred not only because of mistakes in the usage of words or expressions, but also because of the lack of judicial and cultural knowledge. Mistakes are a normal part of life, and times if we are not careful, our mistakes can have lasting consequences. We can make mistakes as long as we can correct mistakes. We can get feedback from the global market. Communication helps to mediate the relationship between conflict and innovation. This fact is furthermore impacted by the complexity of competing in a global environment. Leaders must be aware of the communication styles that are needed when working with multicultural teams.